Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Star Wars Wednesday. Today I will be presenting you with the Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron Razorcrest from Arvala 7. And now, let's get into it. Let's begin with a look at the packaging. On the top, Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron, and a window to let some light in. Nice big window on the front. Nice big Star Wars Launch Edition, and this is just a sticker on here. Nice view of the Razorcrest, if my lights weren't just shining all over it. Then the three figures you get here, Din Djarin, Quill, and Off-World Jawa. Micro Galaxy Squadron, and it's nice chromed up blingy bling there. Series 1, warning! Don't stick things in your pie hole that don't belong there. Razorcrest, Arvala 7. I don't know if y'all can see that real well. On the bottom, safety tested. Don't give it to the babies. Some symbols I'm not going to learn. A barcode. If you have problems, I don't care. Well, do not return to the store anyway. Jazzwares cares. Jazzwares. And on this side, Star Wars. Some nice product shots. Some Arabish. 90 degrees of opening. Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron. Well, it didn't say Star Wars, but I like to say Star Wars. And then on this side, some nice artwork of the Razorcrest, or at least a same class ship during the Clone Wars, because look right there, there's a gunship. And a Disney print. On the back, a little tech spec type thing you can cut out. Collectible blueprint. A blueprint. It's a blueprint. Star Wars! It opens 90 degrees. That opens. That opens. Here's a hologram looking thing. That opens. Razorcrest Arvala 7 Starship class. And then there it is in some Arabish. And here's the cross sail, TIE Fighter, Osage Ventress's ship, an AT-ST Chicken Walker. Those are light armor class. Then we have Starfighter class. We have Obi-Wan Starfighter. We have Luke's X-Wing and Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. And then in Starship class, we have Boba Fett's ship, the Slave One, and the Razorcrest. Disney, StarWars.com, Lucasfilm Limited, Micro Galaxy Squadron. That, my friends, completes our look at the packaging. Let's take a look at what was in the packaging, including the vehicle, the figures, and this nice insert. You see, got some gunships going on there. And it looks like a Star Destroyer in the background. And then, so, I like it. It's very nice looking, I think. Let's get that on out of the way. Then, let's start with the small figures. And in the packaging, it's another packaging. So, you could actually keep them stored like this if you wanted to. But it does easily pop right out of there, and that pops off, and then these guys pop out. Well, they're supposed to get out of that quill. So, and I'm assuming that you can put them back in there if you so desired. And here we have handy dandy tweezers, because we might need them to look at these small guys. And then here's Din. And let's see what kind of articulation he has. Nothing at the head. The arms move in conjunction with each other, it looks like. And probably the legs also. Let's see. Well, the legs might move independently. The arms might as well, but I don't think so. And then, oh, look at that. His cape comes off. It's got a little peg. right there that pegs into his back so you can take it off to make him drive the ship. Awesome! And as far as his colors goes, you know, this is from before he got all Beskar up. He does have his helmet. A nice little piece of black deco in there for the visor. Wouldn't have hurt. But for the smallest scale, it's okay. And then next we have Quill. And let's see about his articulation. Arms raised up together, it looks like. And legs move forward to a sitting position. That's about it. And then Arvala 7 Jawa. At least they painted his eyes in there. And as far as his articulation goes, same. Yeah, he can sit down. He can raise his arms up. And that does it for those guys. Now let's take a look at the ship. The Razorcrest. The windshield screen here looks a little frosty. And it looks like there might have been some paint slop right here, but it's for this size, you know, it's okay. This has nice deco on it all the way around. Some paint here, and then as you'll notice here on the side, there's some pieces missing. That's because on our Arvala 7, those dirty Jawas pulled the ship apart. And, you know, I think it scales pretty well with the figures. It might not be a 1-to-1 ratio, which y'all can't see because there we go. Had the camera up too high. Used to doing taller stuff. So I don't know that this is a 1-to-1 ratio for the scale, but I think they scale together nicely. As far as features of the ship, on the outside we have the landing gears. They just fold out, supposedly. There you go, and it sits like that. So that's pretty cool. But that's not all. The cockpit does open, and there are 3 seats inside, and there is some molded detail. Some control panels up here. The guns do not move. They are fixed. Let's see what else. Then the box doesn't tell you this, but hey, look at that. The engine compartment comes off, at least on this side. I don't know about this side yet. Seems like it would. But it doesn't. So I guess this is to help simulate when the Jawas were pulling everything apart. So that comes off, and you can see there's a piece missing here too. Again, that's the end here. Again, to simulate when the Jawas were tearing the ship apart. Alright, this hatch right here opens. As you can see, there is some molded detail in there. We'll get into that a little more, but there's Din's arsenal. Right. The ramp here in the back, it also opens up. And you can see some nice molded detail on the inside there too. Now, this panel right here does pop off. And you just push it from the inside. I imagine you could peel it from the outside too, but for me it's easier just to stick my finger in there and pop it out. Now this top piece also removes, but you have to slide it back. And once you get it, just a little gap in it, you'll see right here because it goes over the edge here. This is what I had to do before, was just grab it by this and just kind of loosen it up a little more. And there we have a nice area where you can kind of look, see what's going on in there. We've got the carbonite block here. And this looks like something goes here, but I don't know what. And then up here, this opens. And it's the carbonite chamber. And let's see, will a figure fit in there? I would imagine it would. Don't know if I can get it in there or not, but there we go. There's a figure in the carbonite chamber. It's Din. Don't imagine he's going to freeze himself, though. And it closes down. You can see... well, maybe you can't. It doesn't go down all the way to the floor. So there's Din's feet sticking out of the carbon chamber. Carbon freezing chamber, rather. So figure will fit in there. And he dumps right on out of there. Now, one other thing I want to mention. This carbonite block. Up at the top. It does pop out. And then there's a little pin at the bottom. Right here. The bottom pins on that, and then it clips kind of into place. There's a little knob right here where you clip it into place. So you put it on the bottom, then you clip it into place, and of course, let's take a look. It's the, I can't remember his names, but it's the dude that he caught in the very first episode. And again, it has some nice molded details on it. Just no back. But that's okay. I think at this scale we can overlook that. We overlooked it on the 3 3/4 figures for years, or the 3 3/4 Han and carbonite for decades, actually, not years. So it fits in the carbon freezing chamber and closes right down. But again, it's not as noticeable. But the feet are sticking out. So still, I think that's a nice feature. And I think I'll probably leave it like that for the most part. But you got some cargo net in there. Really, overall, it's really nice looking. And again, Din's little arsenal in here. So that's some nice molded detail too. So overall, I have to say this is a very nice little vehicle. And let's see if Din can drive the ship. Let's take his cape off. There you go. There's Din in the ship, and canopy will close, and you can see him in there, even though it's a little frosty. You can tell he's in there. And as far as the passenger seat, let's see if I can get Quill in there. Well, I can get him in there. I don't know how well he'll stay in there. He's in there, but he won't stay in there. It seems like there's a thing, you know, right here that goes in between the legs, and I think they're supposed to clip down over, but I can't get him to do it with the tweezers. And the Jawa, of course, won't, because he's wearing his little dressy skirt thing. So and then of course, to close it all back up, you can flip the hatches closed. This piece you just kind of line up and slide in. Supposedly. Just have to watch how it's got two little pegs in the back here. So you just kind of have to watch how it lines up. There. And of course the landing gears just fold right back in. So overall, I have to say I like it. It's a nice little set. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Razorcrest set with a couple of the blind box sets, Darth Maul and the Sith Speeder, and Din Djarin and Speeder Bike. So you can see kind of, you know, how the smaller stuff scales up with the larger. And here's the Razorcrest set with some old Star Wars action fleet from Galoob. As you can see, the figures are just a bit bigger. And so the vehicles are just a bit bigger too. And you can see the speeder bikes, a swoop bike piloted by Dash Rendar, and an Imperial speeder bike piloted by Return of the Jedi's Endor Luke Skywalker. And then, you know, just for the figure scale comparison right there in the front, a biker scout with the other figures. For final thoughts on the Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron Razorcrest from Arvala 7, I have to say overall I was quite impressed with the amount of detail in this small ship, even on the inside. I wish this would have been the fully repaired version of the ship and not the, you know, partially dismantled Arvala 7 with the holes in it. But I can, you know, there's going to be another release of this later on, probably, or maybe there was an earlier release and I missed it. I am not sure. But I have to say, again, I am impressed with this. Jazzwares did a really good job on putting a lot of detail into such a small version of the ship. And again, like I say, I don't know if the figures are strictly a 1-to-1 scale with the vehicle, but, you know, it's close enough. I mean, have we ever really had a 1-to-1 scale Star Wars vehicle to the figure? I mean, maybe Maybe a few times in the 3 3/4 line there has been a 1-to-1 scale between a figure and a ship. But for the most part, no. And again, like I said, I'm quite impressed with this set, and I may pick up some more. I may pick up the Slave 1. I may pick up the Imperial Troop Transport, Obi-Wan Starfighter, X-Wing, TIE Fighter, of course. If I get the X-Wing, gotta get the TIE Fighter. So you may be seeing some more of these on the channel. That does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews, or just help the channel out further, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.